Life coach Jasna Burza. And Jasna, the subject we're talking about today, you're an expert in. You're always an expert when we talk to you, but this one's got to be personal for you because we're talking about keeping long distance friendships alive. And we know you are from Bosnia, so you've got loved ones very far away. Give us some advice here.
Very far. Well, it's not just me, it's all of us that we grow up in a city and then we move away, our friends move away, and it becomes very difficult to maintain those relationships. And yet how important it is to have that. We all know how much it enriches our lives. So there are actually things that we can do to maintain those relationships. And really the first one and most important one is make the time to connect. So whether it's every week, every month, or every quarter, it doesn't have to be as recurrent as, you know, the expectation tells, like every day or every week. Even if it's every month, make time to connect. And a beautiful tip, before you end that conversation, make sure you schedule the conversation for the next time.
That is a good one. That's a good one. And I've noticed that with my friends who live on the other side of the country, having that date makes us follow through, right? Instead of, oh, I'll just call you when I'm free or you're free. Having that date is a big deal in making this happen.
Absolutely, because if we say, well, we'll catch in a few months, 6 months later, we will have not connected because life happens. So really intentionality behind it and just scheduling it. Put it in your calendar because 3 months from now, your life will be busier than you know it.
Okay, good advice there. Then you also say share experiences when you connect.
Yeah, so we just assume that just if we are on social media, people are really watching what they're doing. Well, I'm not on social media, so I don't know what my friends are doing, and I'm not posting my intensely personal life. So we have our phones with us. When you snap a beautiful photo of something fun you're doing, just send a text. We have the technology to aid us, and that's a really phenomenal way to stay in touch. A quick text, I'm thinking of you, look how crazy I am, look how fun this is. It really gives you also something to talk about when you do connect.
Yeah, I like that because you stay in each other's day-to-day lives a little bit more when you do that. And you also say plan visits because that's something easy too. You're like, oh, let's get together over the next year. But you say do it, plan it.
Actually plan it because it is more complex than we think. Again, our lives are busy, so if you do plan it and say, okay, in March or in April of next year, I'm going to be going to Savannah, Georgia to see my friends, then it's on the books and you're going to make it happen. And you're actually 75% more likely to actually make it happen if it's on the calendar.
If it's actually on there.
If it's actually on the calendar.
And my family lives in Savannah. I recommend it to anyone. It's a good place to do a trip and meet up with people that you're reconnecting with. You also say be supportive. Kind of dig into that a little bit more. So
because we're apart with some of our closest friends at times, and they may be going through really difficult times, people can feel lonely. We can feel lonely. So if we know that they're going through a hard time and transition at work or any kind of loss, a breakup of a relationship, sending a care package, sending a postcard, sending a letter, really letting them know that we are there for them, it goes such a long way that I do believe that even if we're not there physically, they will know that we are there with that kind word or a kind letter or a kind gesture when they're going through something.
Yeah, I like that idea of actually tangibly sending them something physical too, to let them know you're there, even though you're far away. You also say meditation and prayer are key in maintaining and nurturing these long distance relationships.
Yes, and we've talked about this quite a bit on the show too. We now know the quantum physics tells us we are all connected. It's really becoming this common parlance in our everyday life. When I think of you, if I'm considered entangled, connected with you, when I think of you and I send you love, you will feel it, whether you believe it or not. And I think if we can really align ourselves with the person, I've been at a funeral where someone said, every time with this woman, every time we had an agreement and it was two best friends, I would look at the stars and I would know that I'm thinking of you. And that's kind of something beautiful. Maybe every time you see a beautiful yellow flower, you think of your friend and you send them that love, and it really goes a long way. So
long.
With these little tips, we can really maintain good, strong, healthy friendships.
Yes, and like you said, we have our smartphones in our pockets. It's technically never been easier, right?
That's true.
Thank you so much, Jasna. We'll see you next week.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.